Bruh, we all knew Diddy was spiraling, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I did not expect this part of the story to come out. Because this whole time, while everybody was focused on the charges, the court dates, the meltdown, Diddy had a plan B in the background. And not just any plan, a plan built on his own kids. Yeah, the twins, Justin, Christian, all of them were part of a blueprint he'd been cooking for years.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And then 50 Cent dropped that documentary, and boom, the entire comeback strategy blew up before it even had a chance to start. Deals gone, shows ghosted, clothing line frozen, the Combs name, radioactive. But here's the crazy part. When you look at how everything was set up, how the kids moved, the timing, the brand pushes, the trial behavior, you start realizing Diddy wasn't just building a family. He was building a reputation safety net, a whole backup PR army, a shield, a when I get out, y'all open the door for me system. And that just got obliterated. So today we're breaking down the real plan B, the one nobody was supposed to see, the one involving his own children, and the one that 50 Cent accidentally exposed. Buckle up. This gonna get messy.
I don't like where this is going.
Bruh, when I tell you Diddy is not just melting down, he's straight up free falling. I'm not exaggerating. People think the courtroom did it. Nah, the courtroom was just the appetizer. The real collapse, it came from something he never expected. That documentary. The 150 Cent push like he was dropping the mixtape of the decade. And fam, it didn't just expose crimes, scandals, or rumors. It blew up the one thing Diddy needed more than money, more than fame, more than anything. His plan B. See, most folks out here think Diddy's breakdown is emotional. Oh, he's stressed, he's scared, he's panicking. Nah, bruh. This man is panicking because the one strategy he'd been setting up for years just got erased. And that's why he's melting. Not because he's locked up, not because of 50, not because of the media, but because his comeback plan, his secret blueprint, his escape hatch, all of it just turned to dust.
I mean, it's all right. Like, overrated as f***, in my opinion. I mean, and you know what, though? That's typically how the bullshit goes. You feel me?
And here's the crazy part. It wasn't built on lawyers. It wasn't built on PR. It wasn't built on some redemption tour. It was built on his kids. Yeah, let that sink in. Before the documentary dropped, before everything flipped, Diddy was out here setting up a whole legacy machine behind the scenes. Justin, Christian, the twins, all moving in positions that were supposed to keep the Combs name shiny while he handled legal issues and eventually made a dramatic comeback. But now, after that documentary, after the receipts, after the interviews, bruh, that entire blueprint just collapsed, and Diddy knows it. This is why we're seeing the meltdown. This is why he's spiraling. This is why every insider is whispering that the Combs empire is officially cooked. Because when your whole plan B depends on your kids holding up the brand while you're gone, and then Netflix plus 50 Cent torched that family image in 4 episodes, yeah.
Today your ass is gonna die, bitch. Say goodnight, motherfucker.
You start unraveling real fast. Alright, so boom. Let's get into this so y'all really understand the plan B Diddy was banking on. Because this wasn't no casual, oh, my kids just want to be influencers type move. Nah, this man had a full blueprint built around his children. Like he was running a marketing agency out the living room. See, Diddy always counted on one thing, the public soft spot for family. Those are his babies. They innocent. They don't got nothing to do with it. He knew exactly how people think, and he used that hard. So his whole backup plan, it wasn't fame, it wasn't business, it wasn't redemption speeches, it was the kids. This man literally built a PR force field made out of his own bloodline. Justin would slide into the spotlight looking supportive. That's my pops. I love him. Christian would keep rapping, keep posting, keep the brand name alive. King Combs, you feel me? And the twins, they were positioned like the next fashion darlings of Instagram, ready to carry the Combs name into a cleaner, softer era.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Bruh, it was all strategic. Every appearance, Every brand deal, every red carpet, every family moment. Diddy wasn't just raising kids, he was building assets. He wasn't just being a dad, he was creating the comeback engine. And that's why this plan B hurts the most. Because in his mind, using his kids as that shield, that was the invincible play. The one thing nobody could question, nobody could criticize, nobody could tear down. Except one documentary did. And that's when everything flipped. Now let's talk about the boys, Justin and Christian, because bruh, this part right here is where the whole family comeback plan starts looking real calculated. Diddy ain't stupid. He knows the public loves a next generation story. So what did he do? He started grooming Justin and Christian to be many versions of himself, little moguls in training. Justin out here playing the clean-cut gentleman, posting sentimental captions, looking like the responsible son who just wants his dad home. Christian out here doing the artist thing, rapping, modeling, performing, running around like the heir to the bad boy throne. And none of that was random. None of it. These boys were placed in strategic positions, reality TV pipelines, brand-friendly images, TV appearances, music opportunities, all lined up so when Diddy finally popped back out, he could walk right through the door his sons kept warm for him. It was the perfect setup. The public sees young black men succeeding, they cheer. They see sons defending their father, they sympathize. They see a family hustling together, they lower their guard. Diddy knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't just building his sons' careers, he was building his legacy insurance policy. Because as long as Justin and Christian stayed active, stayed visible, stayed likable, the Combs name stayed alive. And when the dust settled, Diddy could slide right back into the spotlight like, look what my boys built. Look how they held me down. But here's the twist. That documentary connected the dots in a way that nobody expected. Now, every move those boys made during the trial, every interview, every speech, every defense of their father went from family loyalty to were they part of the machine too? That's where the public flipped. That's where the sympathy dropped. That's where the plan B started cracking. All right, now let's slide over to the twins, because this part right here is where people started connecting the dots and going,
wait a minute. Who are you?
hold on. Why does this look plain? Bruh, twins don't just wake up one day, skip college, and jump into a clothing line during the exact moment their father's world is collapsing. That ain't coincidence. That's choreography. Think about it. While Justin and Christian were being groomed for music and TV, the twins were being positioned as the fashion arm of the Combs empire. Influencers, brand ambassadors, young, pretty, marketable, perfect for the soft side of the comeback plan. And guess what? A clothing line makes the perfect cover for a comeback. It's clean, it's commercial, it's family friendly. Nobody questions fashion. So when the twins suddenly announced their brand, skipped school, and dove straight into influencer life, people thought it was just Gen Z doing Gen Z things. But Inside has been whispering that Diddy himself pushed that move. Not because the girls were ready, but because he needed a brand waiting for him when he got out. A runway, a revenue stream, a redemption stage. The twins were supposed to hold the line, keep the Combs name cute and shiny while the boys handled music and TV. Then Diddy comes home like a surprise drop, walks into a booming fashion brand his daughters built, and boom, comeback storyline writes itself. Except that documentary, it nuked all of that. Brand meetings, ghosted. Fashion deals, on ice. Influencer contracts, suspended. Hollywood don't want the twins modeling anything right now. Not even socks, bruh.
Sensational.
And it's not because the girls did anything wrong. It's because the Combs name is now a hazard sign. So the twins went from the future of the brand to nobody wants to touch this with gloves on. All because the blueprint wasn't about their dreams, it was about his comeback. Now here's where the whole picture gets even darker. Because once you start listening to industry insiders talk, you realize this wasn't just a family hustle. This was a calculated PR fortress, and Diddy was sitting at the top like a general. Bruh, insiders been saying for years that Diddy always relied on image more than anything. Not talent, not deals, not music, not business. Image, the illusion, the brand. So when the walls started closing in, of course he turned to the one thing the public usually never questions: family. Hollywood execs, label reps, reality TV people, they all describe the same vibe. Diddy was positioning his kids like chess pieces. Justin equals emotional anchor. Christian equals the charismatic next superstar. The twins equals fashion doorway plus Gen Z appeal. It was neat, organized, strategic, and honestly, manipulative as hell. Because insiders say the expectation was clear: hold the brand together, keep the Combs name alive, keep the doors open. When I get out, we rebuild bigger than ever. He expected the kids to be the shield. He expected sympathy to roll in because they didn't do anything wrong. He expected brand deals to keep flowing because the kids were clean. He expected Hollywood to say, let's give them a chance. But here's the twist people ain't talking about. All of that was based on Diddy believing his public image still had some level of protection. The documentary destroyed that illusion on day one. No more benefit of the doubt. No more sympathy. No more separate the art from the man. Hollywood didn't just back away. They yanked the plug out the wall. Meetings canceled. Collaborations iced. Anything with the Combs name attached got labeled too risky. And that right there, that was Diddy's worst nightmare. Because without the public loving his kids, the comeback engine stops. The legacy machine breaks. Plan B dies. And that's exactly what happened. All right, now let's get to the moment everything officially collapsed. Because when 50 Cent dropped that documentary, bruh, it wasn't just a hit piece. It was a nuclear bomb dropped dead center on Diddy's Plan B. You got to understand something. The entire comeback strategy depended on the kids staying clean, staying marketable, staying untouched by the scandal. That was the foundation, the whole structure, the glue holding everything together. And that documentary, it ripped that foundation out the ground like a weed. Suddenly, the public wasn't looking at the kids as innocent bystanders. Now people were replaying every clip from the trial, every emotional speech, every moment the boys defended their father, every brand announcement from the twins. And they started saying,
Hold up. Wait a minute.
were they part of the machine too? Once that question enters the public mind, it's over. There is no recovering that brand. Hollywood felt it immediately. Reality TV producers backed out. Labels went silent. Fashion brands ghosted the twins. Influencer deals dried up like they were never there. Because nobody wants to be the company that said, yeah, let's work with Diddy's kids. The same week, millions of people watched the documentary painting the family as part of a toxic empire. And the worst part, the documentary wasn't even focused on the kids. It just exposed the environment they grew up in. But that alone was enough to make every brand go, yeah, nah, not touching this. So the entire comeback plan, the branding, the shows, the clothing lines, the music, it all folded overnight. One documentary, 4 episodes. And Diddy's Plan B went from, this is how I'll return, to, this will never happen again. And that is why the meltdown is real. Because Diddy didn't just lose his career, he lost the only route he had left to rebuild it. And that's where it gets dark for me. Because when you start grooming your kids to be your PR shield, when you turn their dreams into your comeback engine, When you put the weight of your entire legacy on their shoulders, that's not love. That's not protection. That's manipulation dressed up as fatherhood. And look, I ain't saying the kids are evil. I ain't saying they masterminds. They're young. They grew up rich. They grew up famous. They learned loyalty before they learned boundaries. But bruh, the moment the documentary tied them, even indirectly, to the empire you built, it didn't matter who was innocent. It didn't matter who knew what. It didn't matter who was just trying to be there for their father. The public made up its mind. And once the internet labels you as part of the machine, it's game over. And that is why this whole plan B was doomed from the start. Because Diddy didn't build a legacy. He built a house of cards. And when it fell, his kids got buried under the pieces. And the worst part, he probably thought he was protecting them. Meanwhile, he was dragging them right into the fire he created. Now they're left cleaning up his mess while he sits wherever he is, realizing the truth every powerful man hates to accept. Your empire means nothing if your family got to be the collateral. You know the sad thing about all this? The Combs kids didn't ask for any of this. They were born into the spotlight, raised inside the machine, shaped by an image their father crafted, not one they chose. And now, they paying a price for decisions they didn't make, for a legacy they didn't build, for a plan they didn't design. That's the real tragedy here. Because the world loves the rise, and the world loves the fall. But the world never cares who gets hit by the debris.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
And as messy as this whole situation is, one thing is clear: sometimes the most dangerous part of a powerful man ain't what he does in public. It's the pressure he puts on the people who love him in private. Hopefully the kids find their own paths. Hopefully they separate their names from the shadow. Hopefully they get a chance to build something that belongs to them, not the blueprint their father forced on them. Because nobody should have to carry the weight of a fallen empire, especially not the ones who didn't ask to inherit it. All right, man. Y'all drop your thoughts in the comments. Were the kids victims? Were they part of the machine? Or is the public blaming the wrong people? Let me know. And listen, if you vibe with this breakdown, you already know what to do. Watch the next video popping up on your screen right now. You're going to want that one too. I'll see y'all in the next one. Panda out.